Chapter 13 Fields and Fences. Introduction. Rahmat is a farmer. He grows wheat in his field. Rahmat says, I need a fence around my field. How much wire should I buy? Rahmat needs to know the length of the boundary of his field. Can we find it from the picture given here? See, the length of each side is written near it. To find the length of the boundary of Rahmat's field, we will add the length of the sides. 9 meter plus 15 meter plus 21 meter plus 9 meter. The sum is 54 meter. Rahmat says, the boundary of my field is 54 meter long. Rahmat bought a roll of 70 meter wire for the fence. Looking at what Rahmat did, Ganpat thought, I should also do the same for my field. So, he asked Rahmat, can you give me the wire that is left with you? I will use it for my field. Rahmat said, oh, sure. Why not? How much wire did Rahmat give to Ganpat? The total length of wire Rahmat had 70 meter. Subtracting 54 meter, the length of the boundary of Rahmat's field from it, we get 16 meter. Hence, Rahmat gave 16 meter wire left with him to Ganpat. Ganpat thanked Rahmat and started fencing his field. But he needed more wire. The picture of Ganpat's field is shown here. The length of each side is written near it. How long is the boundary of Ganpat's field? The length of the boundary of Ganpat's field is equal to 15 meter plus 9 meter plus 18 meter plus 9 meter plus 15 meter is equal to 66 meter. So, the length of the boundary of Ganpat's field is 66 meter. Second, how much more wire will Ganpat need for his field? Solution. The length of the boundary of Ganpat's field is 66 meter. Subtracting 16 meter, the wire Ganpat already has from it, we get 50 meter. Hence, Ganpat needs 50 meters more wire. Self-study. Chandu's father is called the young old man in his village. At 70 years of age, he is fully fit. Do you know his secret? He goes for a walk around the field every morning. Every day, he takes 4 rounds of Chandu's field. Here, the picture of Chandu's field is shown. What is the total distance he covers? Solution. The lengths of the 4 sides of the field are given to be 100 meter, 150 meter, 100 meter, and 150 meter. If we add them, we get 500 meter. Thus, the length of boundary of Chandu's field is 500 meter. To find the total distance covered by Chandu's father, we will have to multiply 500 by 4. We get 2000 meter. We know that 1000 meter is equal to 1 kilometer. So, 2000 meter is equal to 2 kilometer. Self-study. Activity. Find out the length of the boundary of the shapes shown here. You can use a thread. Take a thread and place it along the boundary of shape A like this. Cut the extra thread. Now, straighten the thread and measure its length. It's 11 centimeter. So, the boundary of shape A is 11 centimeter. In the same manner, measure the boundary of shape B, which is found to be 13 centimeter. The boundary of shape C is 12 centimeter and the boundary of shape D is 10 centimeter. Now, count the squares in the given shapes and answer the question given here. Note, to count the squares which are bigger than half as one complete square. Count 2 half squares as one complete square. Do not count the square which are less than half of a square. In shape A, there is one complete square. The number of squares bigger than half is equal to 3. And there are 2 half squares. So, there are 1 plus 3 plus 2 into 1 upon 2 is equal to 1 plus 3 plus 1 is equal to 5 squares. In shape B, there are 3 complete squares in all. The number of squares bigger than half is 3 and the number of squares is 2. So, there are total 3 plus 3 plus 2 into 1 upon 2 is equal to 3 plus 3 plus 1 is equal to 7 squares. In shape C, there are 3 complete squares. The number of squares bigger than half is 2 and the number of half squares is 2. Thus, the total number of squares in shape C is 3 plus 2 plus 2 into 1 upon 2 is equal to 3 plus 2 plus 1 is equal to 6. Shape D. In this shape, there are 2 complete squares and 2 squares bigger than half are there. So, the total number of squares in shape D is 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. First, which shape covers the least number of squares? In shape D, there are only 4 squares, which is the least number among all these shapes. Second, which shape covers the most number of squares? Shape B covers the most number of squares, which is 7. Self-study. Practice. Example, a square has a boundary of 12 centimeter. A. From the corner of the square, a small square of side 1 centimeter is cut off. Will the boundary of B be less or more? Find its length. Solution. The length of boundary of shape B is equal to 2 centimeter plus 1 centimeter plus 1 centimeter plus 2 centimeter plus 3 centimeter plus 3 centimeter, which is equal to 12 centimeter. The boundary of B is 12 centimeter, which is the same as the given square. B. If you cut a 1 centimeter square to get shape C, what will be the length of the boundary of C? Solution. The length of the boundary of shape C is equal to 1 centimeter plus 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 3 centimeter plus 3 centimeter plus 3 centimeter is equal to 14 centimeter. Example. A. Find the length of the boundary of square D. Solution. On adding the given length of each side of the given square, we get the length of the boundary of square D to be 20 centimeter. So, the length of the boundary of square D is 20 centimeter. B. 8 squares of side 1 centimeter are cut out of the square D. Now, it looks like shape E. What is the length of the boundary of shape E? Solution. To find the length of the boundary of shape E, let's add the length of each side. The length obtained is 36 centimeter. Thus, the length of the boundary of shape E is 36 centimeter. C. The boundary of the square of 1 centimeter is 1 centimeter plus 1 centimeter plus 1 centimeter plus 1 centimeter is equal to 4 centimeter. Can we also say that the boundary is 4 into 1 centimeter? Solution. Yes, it is 4 into 1 centimeter. Example. Have you seen any race where runners start from different places, as shown in this picture? Guess why? Solution. Yes, we have seen a race where runner starts from different places. This race is run on circular tracks. In order to maintain the distance run by each runner the same, the runners are made to start from different places as shown in this picture. Self-study. School garden. The students of class 3 and 4 thought of making a vegetable garden. They choose a place which looks like this. Students of both the classes thought that garden 1 is bigger. So, both wanted to take garden 1. Suddenly, Neetu said, I think both the gardens are equally big. Sanya said, it is quite possible. Let's find out if you are right. How will Neetu find out if the two gardens are equally big? To find the boundary of the first garden, Neetu will make use of a rope. With the help of the rope, she will find the length of the boundary. In the same way, she will find the length of the boundary of the second garden. Then comparing both the answers, she will find out if the two gardens are equally big or not. Self-study. Example. Which is the biggest leaf in the given picture? Note, here is one leaf. If there is a square more than half, count it as one complete square. If there is a square less than half, do not count it and count 2 half squares as one complete square. Solution. In shape A, if we count the squares, the number of squares is 13. On counting the squares in shape B, we get 15 squares. In shape C, there are 11 squares. And on counting the numbers of squares in shape D, we get 7 squares. From this, we can observe that leaf B is the biggest one. Self-study. Example. A. How many small squares of size 1 centimeter are there in the big green square? B. Can you think of a faster way to know the total number of small squares without counting each? Solution. A. In the big green square, there are 36 small squares of size 1 centimeter. B. In the figure, there are 6 rows and 6 columns having equal number of squares of size 1 centimeter. So, to find the total number of small squares, we multiply 6 by 6. We get the answer 36. Thus, there are 36 small squares. Hence, this is a faster way to know the total number of small squares without counting each. Example. Guess how many squares of 1 centimeter can fill this blue rectangle. Solution. If we count the number of vertical columns in this blue rectangle, it is found to be 8, and there are 4 horizontal lines, that is 4 rows. So to guess the numbers of squares, it should be 8 into 4, that is 32. Therefore, there will be 32 small squares in this blue rectangle. If we try to fill this rectangle with small squares, we come to know that our guess is correct. Example. Look at the picture. Can you divide it into 4 equal pieces? Each piece should have the same number of squares. Solution. In the given picture, counting the numbers of small squares, we get 12. To make 4 equal parts of 12, divide 12 by 4. The answer obtained is 3. So, each piece have 3 small squares in it. Look how they can be divided into 4 equal parts. Self-study. Puzzle. A house and the well. Raghavan has a piece of land. There are 4 houses on his land, and in the middle there is a well. He wants to divide this land equally among his 4 children. Each should get 1 house and be able to use the well without entering the other's land. Can you help him divide the land? Give 4 different colors to each one's share. The picture of Raghavan's land is shown here. We will divide this land as shown here. And let's color each one's share in different colors like this. In this way, each one will get 1 house and will be able to use the well without entering the other's land. What we have learned. How to get boundary with the help of given example. With the help of thread, finding the boundary of given shape. Find the length of boundary of an uneven shape with the help of the small squares. Solve the mathematical puzzles.